media comes up a lot as a bad thing. Yet everyone is using it. You're using it right now. It strikes me as a little bit like alcohol, though. With the right people and in small quantities, it's nice. However, it can become its own problem when it starts getting viewed as the goal. When you gotta check Facebook because you gotta check Facebook. So I'm aware of the irony. I'm posting to social media in order to warn about it.
God, why does everything we do have to be cloaked in like 15 layers of irony?
Maybe you even came here as a result of my own Facebook post. But the Surgeon General's warning wasn't put on billboards first, it was put on the packages. In some ways, those little agreements we click are those warnings, but they've made sure to spread it across so much verbiage and we wanted to use it that we just automatically tend to click through it without reading it now. I mean, would you trust any random stranger who said, "Oh, of course, I have lots of candy in this van. Come on in, I'll take you wherever you need to go. I promise."
That's not a predator?
But all this begs the question, what is it that makes social media something to be wary of? Besides the blatant theft of data and privacy invasions, if it's so sketchy, why aren't people just putting it down? So a bit like alcohol, it does have an ostensible purpose. It's supposed to help us connect. And honestly, that piece of marketing is just fantastic. When cell phones came out and the wireless revolution was taking place, advertising was all about watching, hey, check out this hot dude on a beach. He's working right now. He's doing it over there. He's not in an office. Crazy. Instead, what wound up happening is that people were still compelled to go to an office, except then they carried a phone with them outside of the office so they could be contacted again just in case they were needed. Like the cell phone, social media is here to help us all connect. This connection should be giving us more freedom just to chat with our friends at leisure. But what it's actually doing is encouraging distancing and echo chambers. We're all familiar with the advertising that comes up, how it's mysteriously similar to something we either just looked for or talked with somebody about. It's because the algorithms in charge of finding their information are literally just parsing through for certain keywords. And if they even find it in our general physical location, they throw it at us. It's not that they're listening to us word for word. That would take an impossibly large amount of data. They don't need to. All they have to do is look up for something that one of our friends looked up and we happen to be nearby at the time. Now, these keywords are helpful for keeping us engaged too, because that brings us to some other individuals or groups that we may have interests in common with. Sadly, that doesn't mean that we're being more informed. We're just being kept engaged. This is real similar to poking somebody every single time they aren't paying attention to you. And that engagement triggers your brain. Once upon a time, you'd see somebody hot and you'd get a little boost, little ping of the dopamines. And in fairness, that still happens. That is why, all sorts of other websites exist. But with social media, you get that little boost when somebody taps on your post with a smiley or makes you a friend. It also happens when you engage with others. It gives the brain a false sense of what's happening because we are social beings. We are designed to be interacting with others. The problem is social media is the original fake news. For the most part, these little taps are just reflex reactions by people who just want to show some support or because they laughed for a quick moment. That's not a genuine interaction, but our brain thinks it is. Like this illusion, our brain struggles with the notion of the social media reality. And like alcohol, it gives a simple way of feeling like we're connecting with people that isn't actually happening. So what makes it particularly unhealthy? Because we are convincing our brains to lie to us. They are lying to us about the nature of our relationships to others. And as those relationships grow, especially as more of them come on, we become increasingly dependent on getting those little boosts on a regular basis instead of just occasionally via the normal interpersonal interactions. And this is where the addiction comes in. Let's use cigarettes as the example now. When cigarettes started up, it was important to hook kids because they became lifelong customers. Same with vapes. Same with social media.
I love to take social media breaks.
Children who don't have the same mental defenses that adults do hook right in. It's not going to give them cancer, I don't think. But it is going to remove a precious resource that children have, being children. Definition of innocence, naivete, and age all are things that get taken away with time spent on social media. When does it end exactly? When does it start being okay? I honestly don't know. But I can tell you that I never have heard anybody that I've talked to about any form of social media use say, thank God my child had Facebook. So why are they still using it? Why are you? Feel good about putting your phone down. Turn off this video. Go for a walk in the park without a headset. Try it. If it's a problem to be able to do that, to live 20 minutes without being hooked into some form of media, maybe you know why.